Hey there, Dr. Dave, Microdose U. And yes, as you can see, if you're watching on YouTube, I am back in my studio after traveling to Japan for about a month or so, and doing episodes from there. I'm really happy to be back in my home studio here. However, I got to tell you, I already do miss Japan. Looking forward to getting back there. But what I want to talk about today is that while I was in Japan for 1 month, at least 1 month, 30 plus days, I think it was, I was not able to use psychedelics. I was not able to microdose magic mushrooms, no cannabis, no nothing for 30 days. And I'm back here to report to you how I made out. Well, as you can see, I am here. I'm alive. I'm smiling. If you're watching, if you're listening on Spotify or Apple or wherever, just you can imagine a nice smile on my face. Hopefully looking refreshed, even though I am quite a bit jet lagged still. It's really tough coming back because, oh my God, it's just the time change really does mess with your bodily functions and circadian rhythms and all of that. But I'm here to talk about what it was like taking 30 days off. And I believe that's the longest I've ever taken off from microdosing magic mushrooms since I started my journey over 4 years ago. I mean, there were times, actually, I know I reported on this a year or two ago. I microdosed 30 days straight. And I talked all about that. If you're not sure, if you didn't listen or hear that one or watch that one, go back and check that one out about microdosing for 1 month straight. But here, we'll talk about how did I feel. I didn't know how I was going to feel. I was actually a little worried because, again, if I had any type of anxiety over there, I could drink alcohol, but I don't like alcohol. At least I don't like alcohol for that reason. I mean, if I'm going to be there with, or anywhere with friends or family and everybody's having a little bit of sake or something, I'll partake a little bit, but alcohol is not my thing. And I know I've talked about that quite a bit. But surprisingly and interestingly enough, I did really, really well. I did not have any problem with anxiety over there for 1 full month. Which leads me to believe that this medicine really is working and truly rewires the brain. Because if I would have tried this some time ago, I don't know if it would have worked well. 1 month, no microdosing. I don't think it would have worked too well. I would have been maybe a mess. But what I was doing over there, I love going in the Japanese hot spring. There's something very, very, very soothing about that. And I do think that does help to some extent with anxiety, but also what I was practicing was a lot of breathing exercises. And for some of the people out there that think that, it's kind of bogus, it doesn't do anything, it doesn't really do anything, maybe it helps a tiny, tiny bit. No, I got to tell you, I think the breathing exercises are the real deal, the ones that I was doing. And I shared this with you. I think I shared with you somewhere in the middle of my trip, but I was inhaling through my nose for 4 seconds, like counting to 4 to myself. 1, 2, 3, slowly, like 1, 2, 3, 4, like that kind of pace. Then holding it for 4 seconds like that. Then exhaling everything out of my lungs, but doing it in 6 seconds. So I'm counting to 6 as I exhale. 1, 2, and like that. Then I held it for 2 seconds, didn't do anything, and then started the cycle over again. Inhale 4 seconds, hold 4 seconds, exhale 6 seconds, hold for 2, keep repeating that. I would generally probably do that for, I don't know, anywhere from 3 to 7 minutes total. Doing a little bit is better than nothing at all. Like even a little bit does help. And through the consistent breathing exercises, I felt really relaxed. I never had a situation where I said, I wish I had some psilocybin here because I really need it so badly. I mean, there really wasn't a time like that. And I'm happy to be able to talk about this because, a lot of people ask me, well, Dr. Dave, do we need to do this for the rest of our lives? And I'm going to say my answer is no. Now a caveat here. I really do enjoy microdosing, and I have not microdosed since I've been back. I just got back yesterday, so I did not microdose today. I'm kind of curious to see how it continues. So I'm not sure. I don't have any plans to either go longer or shorter. I just don't know, and I'm not overthinking it at all. And a lot of us just tend to overthink this stuff. It's not like an exact science. And when we overthink it, that's when we start to get into trouble because you go with the flow sometimes. And yeah, right now I might go, it's possible I might go the next week without microdosing. I don't know. Or I might wake up tomorrow and say, I'm just in the mood to microdose. I don't know. But I'm pretty sure that as far as the anxiety and depression, my brain has been rewired. I'm pretty sure, as was evidenced in Japan. 4 weeks, not one problem. However, I still do believe that the microdosing is beneficial for other things. I've learned so much about myself, my physical health, my work, financial health, being kind to other people. It continues to work. So that's why I'm likely going to go start again soon. I'll let you know when I do, and I'll let you know how it goes. And I've got some new ideas too that I'm going to be sharing with you. But for right now, I'm really happy to report this. This is the most positive report I could possibly give coming back from Japan. The microdosing has been working. I didn't have to do it for 30 days. I feel totally fine, and I don't feel like I have to do it today. And what could be better? What could be a better report? I don't think there could be one. So this is great news for all of you microdosers out there. If it hasn't started working yet, it's going to. I promise you, it's going to change your life. You have to be patient. You have to stick with it. You can't be trying a million different things all over the map. And I got to rein you in. Microdosing psilocybin works. Microdosing LSD works. I don't feel you need to go in any other direction. I do enjoy cannabis, but I'll tell you something, having not done it for a month, with the exception, there's a tiny exception. My brother-in-law over in Japan gave me a little bit of CBN. It's a cannabinoid, a little bit of CBN. It does not have any THC in it at all. That would be illegal over there. So no THC whatsoever. It doesn't get you high, no stoned, no dream, nothing like that. But it does relax you a little bit. So I used a little bit of, just a couple times CBN. I'm very confident that if I hadn't used that at all, it'd still be the same. I don't think that changed it didn't change the trajectory over there whatsoever. So yeah, I feel like I'm going to just go for a little while without anything. I'll report back to you as soon as I do get back into it. But I don't feel any hurry. It's great news. So I want to share some questions and comments that have come in over the past week or so since my last episode, and let's get right into them now. I'm going to take a sip of tea. So bear with me for 1 second. You might hear. So if you're on audio, I'm going to sip loudly so you know I'm doing something. So hang on. I love green tea. I love coffee too. Okay. First, some of these are comments, some are questions. They're all really good. And so let's get right into it. SOS Wooden Ships. SOS Wooden Ships says, Dapper Dave, thanks so much for standing up for us, for the truth, for our well-being, for our transformative healing. You have the credibility. You wear the hat of knowledge. Just stick a few fishing lures on it. Your outstanding show must go on. Your superbly crafted letter has saved your show. If you're not sure what he is talking about, there was a point when I was in Japan that YouTube ripped down my channel. They deleted my channel. They said because it goes against their community guidelines, community standards guidelines, and they took my channel down. So I had one chance to respond to them and tell them why I think they made a mistake. And I crafted a letter that was beautifully done. And they said it would take they said it would take, what, a couple days to get back to me, but they got back to me within an hour and said, okay, but pretty in so many words, okay, you win, your channel's back, we reinstated you. So it was scary as hell. In the meantime, I started a backup channel for video on rumble.com. It's rumble.com/Microdose U. So if we ever go down, I don't think we will, but if we ever go down, you'll be able to catch up on videos on Rumble. Make a note of that, because I wouldn't have any way to communicate with you unless you're on my email list. Just make a note of that. Rumble.com, we're putting all videos up on there as well, just kind of as a little bit of a backup. Then he goes on to say, for us, thank you. You changed lives with your heartfelt guidance. Thanks again. Hi to my friend in Japan. So SOS Wooden Ships is in Japan. Cool. I love it. And thank you so much for that kind letter, SOS. That's really, really nice of you. I do my best. I try my hardest every single day for you guys, because this is what I do. I put my heart into every episode. I put my heart into making sure my channel stays on. I put my heart into my Patreon group. Everything I do, because I want to change lives every single day. And SOS Wooden Ships, you totally get it, and you don't know how much that means to me. Thank you so much. Next note is from, let's see here, Lady Grateful. Lady Grateful says, I am new to your channel, this being the first video that I've seen. I think that was like last week's, because this just came in. The first video that I've seen, it makes me feel like, why would I want to pay for a Patreon with somebody who is no longer utilizing the medication that he's talking about? I'm not ignorant. I understand that he will be back from Japan, but I just don't know. It just feels strange to me. And she goes, it's a long letter. I'm not going to read everything, just go on and kind of panning, saying bad things about what I'm doing, and that I'm not doing it right anymore because I'm in Japan and I'm basically not paying attention and not giving content. And so let me just share a few things about this with, who's that? That's Lady Grateful. And I want to share this with my entire audience. And I want to prove to you how much the medicine, it does work. Because if this came into me and it was pre-microdose time, like before I started microdosing magic mushrooms, I would have responded much differently. Much differently. I would have basically been very upset and said, like, you things like, you don't get it. Why, I don't, I would have been angry, really angry, because somebody like this didn't get it, didn't get what I'm doing. But I want to share with you and prove to you how the microdosing has worked. Because I'm not going to talk like that to this person. I mean, everybody has their opinion. You can say whatever you want, and I'm not going to get angry in the least bit. I will say that she's not right. She's saying that when I'm in Japan, I'm not. First of all, okay, a few things. She thinks that because I stopped microdosing for 1 month in Japan, that I'm not credible anymore. And why should she listen or watch somebody that is not presently microdosing? Well, I mean, I could explain so many reasons, but I don't even think I have to, because I think 99% of my viewers and listeners totally get it. I took a month off. I was upfront with you guys. I said, let's even see what it feels like to take a month off after microdosing for 4.5 years. Let's see if I'm okay. It's kind of an experiment. So it's very obvious this person doesn't really get it. And also, let's say, even if I stopped microdosing now, that's not the case, but even if I just quit and never did it again, I'm still extremely qualified to tell people how to take the same path that I took that will change your life, and you don't have to be microdosing for the rest of your life. I'm still qualified to do that. I don't have to be microdosing in real time to share this information with you that I've learned over 4.5 years. So it's very obvious that, this person doesn't really understand what I'm doing. And as far as she said that since I've been in Japan, I'm not producing content anymore. Well, that couldn't be further from the truth, because First of all, every single week that I was there, we did a live meeting on Patreon, a live meeting, which we do at least 3 times per month. Whether I'm here or there, anywhere, we do at least 3 per month now. I'm going to try to do them every week, actually, because the live meeting on Patreon is like the best thing we do. And by the way, anything I talk about, if you want to learn how to get onto Patreon, it's a paid platform. It's in the show notes or on my website, microdoseu.com. But for somebody to tell me or tell the world, because she commented on YouTube, that I haven't been doing anything since I've been in Japan and no content, it's just not correct. Because not only are we doing Patreon live meetings every week from there, I was still producing my podcast every Wednesday, like I've been doing for 4+ years, and I've never stopped. And as a matter of fact, 2 days ago, we did a special episode with my good friend and colleague, Dr. Denise Moret, because we've had a lot of requests from our women, the women that follow us. A lot of requests. They want us to talk about things like perimenopause and how microdosing psychedelics can help with change of life for women and things like that. Now, I'm not really qualified. I'm not a woman. I haven't gone through any of that. So, of course, I brought my colleague, Dr. Denise Moret, who is a doctor of psychology and extremely experienced in plant medicine. She did an entire episode 2 days ago. You might want to check it out. What was it called? I think it was called Special Episode, Women's Health, Perimenopause, something like that. It'll be very easy for you to find. It was just 2 days ago. We put it out on audio, Apple, Spotify, and on YouTube as well, and also on Rumble. So it's there. So for somebody to come on YouTube and rant that I'm not doing anything anymore, they're totally wrong. And I will say this, and again, I've got all the love and respect for everybody, and I'm not going to say anything bad about anybody. If I say that she was wrong, that's not saying anything bad. It's just that what she wrote was not correct, but I'm not attacking anybody personally in any way. She just wasn't right. But I will say this, it's something I've also learned through my microdosing journey. I'm not for everybody. There's no way I'm going to have a show here that's going to be for 100% of the population. It's impossible. You just can't do it. There's no way I can please 100%. And there's no way in your life you can be friendly with 100% of the people you come in contact with, whether friends or, there are people that you're just not going to vibrate with. There are people that you're not going to resonate with. It's impossible for us to all be good for everybody. When I was a practicing dentist, I had to realize that there were some patients that were just they weren't fit for my practice. And I never tried to beg anybody to come that I felt that was not, I never tried to beg anybody anyway. But somebody that's not a fit for my dental practice, I certainly didn't want them to stay if they weren't comfortable. And I would wish them the best and help them find another dentist that was more in tune for what they were looking for. But that doesn't mean they're a bad person at all. But getting back to this letter from Lady Grateful, I don't beg anybody to watch me or listen to me or join my Patreon. I never beg. I share what it's about. I share, and if it's up to somebody if they want to join me or not. And there are a lot of podcasts out there on microdosing, a lot. Now, I am biased. I would like to think that mine is up there as one of the best, if not the best, because I'll tell you why I think that, because I can relate to people. When I come on and turn the camera on and turn my microphone on, I'm relating to people all over the world. I'm not just reading scientific studies. I'm not just telling you what to do, but I'm sharing my personal stories, the good and the bad. I've been through some real tough times, and I'm very transparent about everything. But again, for this person to come on and start telling me that I'm not doing anything because I'm in Japan and she doesn't see the value, well, again, I don't beg anybody to stay with me at all. And there might be better shows out there for her. And I really do wish her luck on her journey, because I really want the best for everybody. I honestly do. I don't wish any harm And I hope she can find a channel or a podcaster or somebody a coach that can help her apparently more than I'm helping her. And I wish her luck. And that's all I'm going to say. Again, no personal attack whatsoever. Question from Emily R. But getting back to that, that's how microdosing has changed me. Because like I said, a couple years ago, I might have gone on the offensive and really said some not so nice things, but I would never do that. I've learned that's not the way to live. It's not the way to be kind. Okay, Emily R, here I'm ready for you now. Dr. Dave, how do you know when your dose is actually too low rather than just subtle? Well, Emily, good question. First of all, are you feeling any changes? Do you feel better every day? Do you feel better most days? Do you feel that anxiety edge has gone? Or is it going? Do you feel less depressed? Whatever you're trying to treat or whether you're trying to change or help, do you feel it's improving? If it's not, I suggest increasing your dose a little bit at a time. For example, if let's say you're doing 100 milligrams, 3 days in a row, 4 days in a row, I would try to up it to 100. If you're not feeling a difference after some time, I would try to up it to 150 or even 200. Again, the good thing about this, Emily, is, and I've talked about this, it's not an exact science, and you can feel free to titrate, get your dose right, and if you go a little bit too high, there's nothing wrong with that. Just back it down. There's no harm done if you take too high of a dose. I'm still talking about microdose range though. I'm not talking about going out tomorrow and doing 4 grams. No, I'm not talking about that. But play with your dosage and see how it goes, see how you feel. And when you have some more experience, you're going to dial in a dose that's generally really good for you. And I hope that helps you, Emily. You're going to be fine. Slow and steady Mike. If I microdose for a couple months straight, how long should my reset period be? Well, first of all, I never really recommend microdosing for a couple months straight without any kind of tolerance break at all. That's why we generally say, go 3 days in a row, 4 days in a row, maybe even 5 days in a row. That's okay. But take a day or two off in between those just for a little bit of a tolerance reset. If you go for a couple months straight, let's say you've just done that, I would probably take a week off. If you've done it every day or close to every day for a couple months and you want to reset things, I would probably take a week off and then resume and see how you feel and then just resume. Again, the good thing about it's there's no rule. There's no absolute definite rule like a pharmaceutical. You have to take a certain amount every day or else. No, do what you feel is best. If the everyday is working really well for you, take a little break and continue that. Who am I to say not to do that if it's working, if you're feeling great? Laura in Vancouver, I get benefits on dose days and then I feel flat on my off days. Is that normal or a sign I'm dosing too often? You didn't give me any more information, so I don't know how often you're doing it actually. But if you feel flat on your off days, it's interesting. You might want to I get benefits on my dose days, and then I feel flat on my off days. Well, Laura, maybe make your off days, I still believe in off days, but maybe make them less often. Maybe fewer off days might be better for you. And if you do that, you might start to find your off days are you're feeling better on your off days. And another suggestion would be maybe, let's just say, I'm going to make this up because I don't know your regimen, but let's say you're dosing 4 days on and then 2 days off. Let's just make that up. And you might be close to that. 4 days on, 2 days off. Well, on your 4th day, the day before the off day, up it a little bit. And let's say you're doing 150 milligrams on your on days. Maybe up it to 200 or 250 the day before your off day. And that'll give you that afterglow. It'll carry you over on your off day or off days. Let's see how that goes. But again, play with it, tweak it. I think you're going to be fine, but sometimes it just takes some changing things around a little bit. And I think that the more I think about it, the slightly higher dose on the day before your off day, that would be something really worth experimenting with. And let me know how that goes. Um, Todd H. Todd H. Does the medicine hit differently if I haven't slept well the night before? Yes, it could, because we teach that so many things go into this and everybody's different. So if you didn't sleep well the night before, that could affect the way the medicine feels. If you've been eating poorly, if you've been sick. I remember a few years ago when I think I may have come off of COVID or something. And I dosed, when I felt better, I dosed like the next day or something like that. And I remember it was it wasn't good. It was a really weird feeling. And it was medicine that I'd taken before normally, and it was fine. But after I had COVID, I took it and it felt different. It felt weird. So depending on what's going on with your body, how you're feeling, how well you slept, how well you ate, all of this thing, that all affects us. So yes. To answer your question, yes, it does. It does and can hit differently. Todd, yes, good question. Mind Shift Jen, I tend to overthink everything. Is there a way to microdose without turning the whole process into another obsession? Yeah, that's a really cool question, because that's something that the microdosing, if you do it over time, that's going to help exactly with that. So it's not going to help the first day or two. I mean, it's going to take a little time maybe, but as you microdose longer and longer and longer, it should help with that problem, with obsessing over things. People with OCD, there's been a lot of positive reports that microdosing does help with things like that. It's helped me with, I used to obsess. Here's one example. I used to obsess over my physical health much more than I do now. I hardly do at all now. I'd say almost none. But 3-4 years ago, oh my God, my blood pressure was a little bit high, or I felt something. I would obsess and I would think I'm dying. And now that does not happen at all. So yeah, this is going to help you. But again, it will help with that problem, Jen. That's a really cool question, because it's all connected. Rob S., is it okay to take my dose before a long drive, or should I wait until I'm home? Oh, so if it's only a microdose and you've done it before, again, I wouldn't do it the first time, but if you're experienced with microdosing, taking a microdose before a long drive is a great thing. Do you remember last spring and into the summer a little bit, I went on this long road trip. I think it was it 2 months long? I think almost 2 months. Oh, I would microdose frequently before I got in the car and drove, and it was wonderful. I loved it. Just a very peaceful way to drive. It helped me a lot, especially on the longer days when you're just in there driving. Oh, it really helped me. So, Rob, yeah, I'm a believer in microdosing before driving. I like to microdose sometimes before I ski. Before I'd go on a bike ride, it's a great thing to do before something like that, because it just resets everything and makes you feel better. I know that's not scientific, but I hope that makes sense. Let's see. I have a question from, where is it from? From Matt. Matt says, Dave, how do I know that Patreon will be a safe place for me? I've got some things that I really need to share, but they're so private. I've never done this with anyone before. Matt, I really appreciate that question. And for those of you that are brand new and don't even know what Patreon is, it's a paid platform we have, and it's very, very, very inexpensive. It's $12.50 per month if you're in the U.S., because we have people from all over the world. But U.S. dollars is $12.50 a month. And with that, you get live meetings. You get a group of people. It's like our family. We call it our Patreon family, our Patreon Nakama, that are non-judgmental, and we all help each other out. And we've had some people, Matt, share things that are so private there. And we have a rule it's an agreement between all of us. We don't judge, and we don't share anything that's shared on Patreon. We don't share it outside of our family, outside of the group. And it's held up. We've never had a problem. I will tell you, never had a problem. So Matt, if you have something you want to share, and it's been done before, a lot of people have shared some very, very deep things that they've been holding for a long time. So if you've got anything like that, Matt, which it sounds like you say you do, we welcome you. My advice would be to come into Patreon, see what it feels like, see if you like it, see what it feels like, see what the live meetings feel like to you. And then once you're comfortable, then if you want, we never pressure anybody into sharing anything. Some people stay kind of stealth and they just kind of stay in the background and just kind of observe what's going on. But if you come in and we hope you do, and once you're comfortable, please share, and we'll do everything we can to help you out there, Matt. I think even asking that question, I could see how that would even be difficult. So you're more than halfway there. We hope to see you in Patreon. And for anybody else, for you that's listening or watching right now, if you just want to take it up to a little bit of a different level where we talk about things that we don't talk about here on the podcast, things that we don't talk about publicly, sources where we found the best places to source your medicine, some people call it a sacrament, whatever you want to call it. That's what we talk about on Patreon. It's just a great group, and I welcome you there. The links are always in the show notes and on my website. I think that's going to be it for today. I'm glad to be back. I'm again dealing with some jet lag. It's going to be fine. We're doing a live meeting a little bit later today as I record this. We're doing a live meeting on Patreon. So if you want to get in, it's never too late. I always invite you in. But as I said to, who was it? What was the person's name? Lady Grateful. We never beg. We've got such a great community that we don't have to beg, and we don't have to beg people to stay. And if anybody ever comes on to Patreon and they feel it's not for them, they're free to check out. We don't hold you captive in any way. Although we do hope that when you do come in, you're looking at a long-term thing. We don't want people to come in just for a month and grab some information and then leave. That's not what our Patreon family is about. It's a family, and families generally stick together. Okay, until next time, remember, brand new episode every Wednesday. I'm going to try to get Dr. Denise. We're going to get together with Dr. Denise again and do another episode on women's health. So stay tuned for that. And just a lot of cool things going, trying to help people all across this lovely planet live better lives every single day. I am Dr. Dave. I love you. And when I say that, I say it from my heart. I don't have to say it, but I feel the love coming from your end. So I have to say it back to you because I feel your energy today, especially today. I mean, I feel it all the time, but today I feel it. So I'll see you next time. It's been great talking to you today. I really hope this was of help today.